Songbird. Is this Bluebird Part 2?
This is Bluebird Part 2, and in fact that's what it says in this concert score I've got here. I wanted to progress that story, and I felt that I had more to say. So this is very much a Bluebird Part 2, and entitled Songbird.
Yeah, it's really nice. I was listening to this and also looking back at our last chat about Bluebird. You talked about exploring, like using smaller intervals, exploring dissonance and using felted piano when you were writing Bluebird. Was there anything that stuck out in particular when you were writing Songbird?
I think the same things are true for Songbird. I suppose I'd start with the keys, thinking back to Bluebird in the key of B flat major. Each key has a particular character, and if you think about it has a particular sonority, particular sound, particular longing to it. Very different in different keys, but I think so. I wanted to choose an interesting. So this song. Is in the key of F sharp major. Which is not an everyday key, but again it has that sense of longing about it, which I really wanted to use in this song.
Cool. And in terms of wanting to continue the story of Bluebird, what is the story?
Well, the story started with years and years ago when I used to write pieces of dance for my daughter Savannah when she was a little baby, 3, 4. And I used to write little piano pieces for her to go onto stage with. And one of the first pieces I wrote for her was, I remember, Last Song, and she danced to that. And they were just wonderful times. I remember them so well. And so I really wrote Bluebird for my daughter, Savannah, and she eventually danced in that video. And the same really is true for Songbird, and it's a kind of, it's a moment in time, I guess. Every parent feels with their children, and that sense of being as one and unconditional love. It's so powerful, and. So I wanted to write the piece for her, and she also choreographed the video for this piece as well, and danced in the video. It has a slightly different narrative in that we wanted to explore the idea of being connected, and particularly at these times, which are so challenging for so many. Being connected even though one might feel alone. And so there's a slightly different story that we wanted to tell there, but she was at the heart of it in the fact that she choreographed it and also danced in a particular segment, and I'll talk about that a little bit later on.
Excellent. The arrangement, there's again these kind of sweeping strings, and I know there's a musical term for it, but I can't think of it. When the left hand goes boom, chun, chun, boom, chun, chun. Could you speak more to those choices?
Again, it's purity and simplicity. So you're talking about there is a kind of figuration. This kind of feel. This kind of feel. This is so simple, and I just love that when you can convey messages that are really direct and truthful and honest and authentic, but have a sort of everyman quality to them. The sense that you could sing it on a football terrace, or you could sing it. That's why I consider to be success. Not if something is so complicated that only 2 people can really get their heads around it, but actually if it manages to touch everybody, or nearly everyone. That's what we aspire to. And so that sense of purity and simplicity, I find is inherent in that particular in that particular figuration, that particular rhythmic pattern. And so that's something that I return to, not over and over again, but at certain moments. And this felt like a good moment.
Great. And my final question is, what was it like working with your daughter for this video again?
It was great. I can always. She's just such a trooper when it comes to these things. She has such an incredible eye. And I remember for this video, she choreographed the dancer in Tokyo. So we filmed it in Tokyo and London. And then she choreographed for a dancer in London. And then certain things happened before the event, and we had to sort of change tack a little bit, which meant that she had to revisit what she did within 24 hours, which she did, and then came at it and then delivered. So it was incredible. She's so inspiring to work with.